Okay, so we're going to install the hinges on this door, and you can see that each of the doors has this 35mm hole, hinge cup hole, and then these two 8mm holes that help to keep the hinge aligned correctly perpendicular on the door. So a 35mm hole and two 8mm holes for each hinge. Okay. Again, we have these inserter type hinge, straight arm hinge. So all you have to do is put these two little expando dowels into the holes, press it down to the door, and move that down, and it's attached to the door. So the two little expando dowels go into the 8mm holes, press it down flat, and then flip that down, and we're attached. Okay, so our hinges are installed. We can go ahead and attach them to the cabinet. I just slide this little metal rod right there, slides right into this little receiving end of the mounting plate.
Hang on, show it again, show it again.
So this little metal dowel or rod that's on the hinge will be lining that right up with the center of the hinge plate where that little arrow is, and it slides right into a little spot. You can see it receives that. Just slide that in there, and flip it in place. I think that we're actually going to have to pull the cabinet out over the edge of the, because it may have been putting some pressure on it. I'm just going to use a clamp to hold this cabinet in place. Normally we put the doors on and they're attached to the wall. The cabinet's not going to be sliding away from us while we're trying to attach the door. So that clamp should give me a hand there. Okay, now I can clip it on there and put the second one in place, okay? Get the other hinge, door. Okay. All right, so you can see that this front piece...
Turn it a little bit. There you go.
The front stretcher that we're looking at right here, the doors are actually landing onto it. So that is part of what determines the width of that particular door. What we need to do now is adjust these doors so that they're lining up correctly. We've got a little bit of adjustment that needs to be made. So I'm just going to get my posi drive screwdriver, and I'm going to raise the bench up a little higher so I can work more comfortably. Okay. All right. Let me get all that over. Well, actually, that won't. Okay. Just looking at my reveals all the way around this, so we've got a very small reveal. These doors actually ended up slightly bigger than we expected. but just the kind of the default location of these hinges puts the doors in pretty good adjustment. I mean, really, at this point, there's really no need for me to go any further in the adjustment process. Looking at this reveal, it looks consistent and even. This is the height registration is good. Maybe this left door is a hair higher, so I can adjust that. Looking at this from that direction, this screw that's on the hinge plate is going to be my height adjustment screw. So we have two height adjustments on this right side. If I want to raise this up or down, I'm just going to rotate that screw, and you can see that that hinge arm is going up and then down, okay? And you would want to adjust them both an even amount. So let's just see where we're at. So I want to raise this up just a touch. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I actually think I'm going to back this up a little bit. So I'm moving that door a hair to the right, just to look at my reveal to make it look consistent. So that looks good. So our other piece of the cabinet here is what's referred to as a false front. And the false front is actually going to sit in this location here, but 1/8 of an inch up. So what we need to do then is get 1/8 of an inch shim, and then holding that in place, we can just screw that false front from the back side in to the cabinet. So I'm just going to get 1/8 of an inch spacer, which is, let me see if I happen to have one in my bag here. I do. Right here. So this is a specially manufactured stick to be exactly 1/8 of an inch thick, or something very close to it. So I'm just going to set that.
Do you have the plans for that?
I have the plans. $9.95. Ship it to you overnight. Okay. So I don't know if the grain match actually looks.
Yeah, it looks good there.
I don't think this is a grain match going in this direction.
It was. No, it looked pretty good actually. Turn it over. There you go. Yeah, it's a.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good right there.
Absolutely.
So I'm just holding it in place with a clamp, and then I'm going to lower the bench because I can. Going to get some 1¼ screws. We've got 3/4 of an inch plus 3/4 of an inch is 1.5 inches. So I've got 1¼ inch screw to hold this in place. I'm just going to put 2 screws on each end, and it will be good to go. Okay. Do this left-handed. All right. So there's our, oops, that's that's definitely affecting the adjustment a little bit, but that's, we can work with that later. Pardon?
You need to hang it over on this side, like that.
Okay. So your false front is installed, your doors are installed, and this cabinet is ready for delivery.